Today we're going to look at the most powerful feature that many people might not have enabled for OpenClaw. It's a system that gives our agents a persistent and reliable, robust memory that works even after system resets and day compactions. So this is Open SaaS Lab day 5, where we're attempting to run a real SaaS production system using OpenClaw agents, currently 10 agents running in the system. So the big problem is for OpenClaw memory is that it typically writes to the memory file, which gets recycled every day into a new memory file. It has context window limits where it tries to keep certain amount of fresh memory or fresh context in its memory. But anytime you write new ones, the old ones get pushed out. And anytime you reset the system, the session memory gets erased. So the way to do it is to turn on embeddings. So the embeddings, when it's enabled, will you need to OpenAI key or a Google key. I think there's one other provider for the embeddings. And embeddings are basically how LLMs work. They take chunks of text, they split it up into small chunks, and they store it as a vector, which is a 3D map of numeric map of a location of information in space. Might not be explaining that well. My understanding is actually very limited of it. But so SQLite is a local storage database. It's a file-based database that runs on your local machine. It'll take these embeddings, and then when the agent needs context, it'll query that SQLite database and use the embeddings. I didn't even know SQLite had this ability. I thought it was just a, kind of a text-based database. But the very smart people at OpenClaw paired it with the vector plugin, SQLite Vec, I believe it's called, to enable it to be able to use vector embeddings, which is huge, which is how LLMs really work overall. So this is how we have it deployed. It's using memory search, and I've included instructions in my agents to leverage memory search. So super cool. I think that alone is a way to 2x your output with OpenClaw agents, and ever since enabling it yesterday, getting a lot better performances in terms of agents not losing context about the discussions we're having. So do that alone. I didn't hatch my agent, so and I don't recall it ever asking me to set this up, but perhaps if you hatch your agent and go through the normal onboarding flow, it will ask you for this, but I'm not entirely sure that's true. I know it doesn't work with some people using Codex with OAuth. It won't work with that. You need to use it via an API key. So I think a good portion of people are not leveraging this functionality, which is huge. Let's hop over and take a look at our token usage. Just continues to be an issue. Our usage from yesterday is starting to trend downward. We're still using actually Sonnet has overtaken Opus as the largest model, which is good. I want to move away from Opus. In fact, only one agent now, which is my super agent, has access to Opus. Everyone else is running on Sonnet, and I'm actually really not trying to have conversations with this super agent as much as possible, only using them for system changes. I'm trying to speak directly to the individual agents as much as possible, which are running on Sonnet rather than using Opus. Haiku is being used for all agent heartbeats and for cron jobs. So today, 44 million tokens still. It's not a small amount. Cost is crazy. We are $800 in cost over 5 days, which is unsustainable to say the least. Ideally, this entire system will be running at less than $1,000 per month. $1,000 per month for an entire, not only SEO team, but a sales team and a development team when the system is fully built. I think is a great value. I certainly spend a lot more than that on outsourcing projects to Upwork contractors. So really have to get these numbers down though. They're out of control. Other outputs. So we spent all this money and we're limited in our outputs. And so they did create and publish this article yesterday, which is a competitor comparison article. I didn't even know it was going to add a header image to it, but obviously this is an AI generated image and it's just Not of the quality. I haven't spent any time working with the two creative agents. I have Pixel and Prism are the two image creators, and one is a junior designer and one is a master designer, and they'll review the junior designer's work. I need to update their instructions to give brand guidelines and just overall image design. This is obviously clearly generated by AI. Also, it says updated 2024 is 2026. So some tweaks I need to make there. I'll have them regenerate this image. Article looks fine. I created a task, or I created a update to our standard operating procedure in our SOPs to include links and a certain density of links. So it's one link for every 1,000 words. So it's linking back to our conversion page. So that's typical best practices whenever you create content. Agent reports. So this is another output of the system, and when you see it, you see the value that the system is creating. Sorry about that. So agent reports. A lot of times the agents will write to their local workspace on your system, and it's kind of hard to get an overview of what's being produced. So I have my agents writing to a Notion dashboard in addition to their local file set. So their local file set is good for them to be able to reference internally, but I'm also having them duplicate the report in this Notion dashboard. So content brief for best practices. So this is going to be turned into an article. And then there's, every agent is outputting. There's a ton of valuable things here, but not a lot of it is being leveraged for output yet. So I'm really hoping that the output production of the system is going to improve significantly. All right, get on to weeds here. So one of the items that was noticed was that in those reports was that our mobile content LCP, which is a Google metric for how fast your page loads, is largest content paint is 13 seconds on mobile, which is ridiculous. And now, interestingly, Cypher, the technical SEO manager, was able to. So I have Ghost, where everything is being published, API enabled, and it allows you to do a lot of things, but there are certain things that it can't do. That aren't exposed via the API. So Cypher, the technical SEO manager, was able to use the browser and log into the system and make the changes itself using the code injection, which is really crazy. So the before and after, so the performance score using Google Lighthouse is 43, and after it's 76. So that's a huge improvement there. And Cypher came in with additional fixes that will improve that further. So that is actual genuine output that's providing actual value for the entire system. So I expect that all page impressions in Google Search Console should improve. Task management, small things like it was interesting that the tasks being created in the database were being set with dates that were like 3 or 4 days out, when these are AI agents and there's really no need for them to have any due dates past today or tomorrow. So I created a new role inside of the task management SOP for our project manager to not allow dates past that point, because really agents should be able to work 24/7 and get these tasks done. And I think that because the due dates were so far out that some agents were picking up tasks as proactively as they should. And that continues to be an issue, that tasks are not being picked up as actively as they should. Yesterday didn't provide an update just because I just had to get the system back working to a baseline where I had to work on compaction issues where things were not getting compacted. Agents were hitting their limits. I made some setting changes and had to do some other rules, had to reduce the agent heartbeat from 30 minutes to an hour. There's also a setting around agent heartbeats where you could set them individually. So I have certain agents that are running very quickly, like every hour, and then I have other agents that are a little bit more inactive, so every 2 hours. I'm still only running the agent windows for my work hours, just so I can monitor the system. They're not working overnight and burning tokens. So the battle for token efficiency continues, and yeah, that's where we're at. Starting to see some output, and things are looking up. If you're interested in seeing more, then stay tuned.